When the Lord was preaching to his disciples, he said to them that the world would recognize them as belonging to him by one thing. One thing that shows the world at large that we are Christians, that we belong to the Lord, that we follow him. It's not the clothes we wear. It's not even the cross that we wear around our neck. It's not the cars we drive. It's not the houses we live in. It's not the way we cut our hair or trim our beards, if we have beards, boys. It's not even where we go on Sunday. The Lord said, "By this all men will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another as I have loved you." This is the change that Christ brings to us. When we live according to the principles of the world, we defend our own. We keep our walls high. When we hear of something bad that someone else did, then naturally we talk about it. Because if they look bad, then we look good. This is the way the world has always been. Dog eats dog, and human being claims advantage as soon as anyone gives room. But Christ says, "It shall not be so among you. But whoever will be great among you must be the least of all. And whoever will be master must be the servant of all." He calls us to love one another. He calls us to an upside-down way of being. And lest we forget how difficult this is, lest we forget the gospel readings and the epistle readings that we are given to hear every Sunday, and in truth every day, they remind us, they call us once again to this different way of life. In the epistle today, St. Paul says effectively this. He says, "My brothers and sisters, I who am a prisoner for the sake of the Lord, I beg you, lead a life that is worthy of the calling to which you have been called, with all lowliness and meekness, with patience, forbearing one another in love." What does forbearing mean? It means enduring the evils, the harm that your brothers and sisters do to you. Do not get them back. Forgive them. Forbearing one another in love, be always eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. And he goes on to say there's one body, there's one Spirit, just as you are called to one hope that belongs to your call, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of us all. But the point is, he calls them, the church at Ephesus, he calls all of us to this way of life, to this unity, this oneness. And the very call reminds us what a miracle it is that we gather together Sunday after Sunday in patience, in humility, in meekness, in forbearance, in love. What a miracle it is that we gather together and become one in Christ. This is the wonder of Christ in our lives. This is the miracle. He calls us to unity. And he tells us how to do it. Be patient. Be meek. Forgive one another. Pray for one another. Do not live in the way that the world lives. It is this that we are called to. It is this simple way of life that has changed the world and is still changing it. The question that comes to each of us then in our lives, where we stand, here and now, is this: will we be a part of the Lord's work of salvation? Will we follow him in meekness, in humility, in forbearance, in patience, in love? Will we work for the unity of the church? When we hear a piece of gossip, will we let it die in our ears? Or will we speak it out and pass it on? One way is the way of Christ. The other is the way the world has always been. But if we would follow Christ, if we would see the church shine as we are called to shine, we will choose the harder road. We will learn humility and meekness and gentleness and patience. We will learn to love one another. And the Lord will take our meager efforts and he will multiply them and transform them and transform all of us and make us a glory to all the world. Let us stand and continue the liturgy in meekness, in humility, in forbearance, and in love. Amen.